Forex trading psychology. Exposing mistakes and the path to success. You think you're trading to make money? Wrong. Most newbie traders are digging their own graves because of psychological traps. They don't even realize the Forex market, it's not a game. It's not a place to satisfy your addiction or prove yourself. It's a machine that crushes the undisciplined, those who let emotions take the wheel. You step in dreaming of a ballooning account, but after a few months, most are left with nothing but disappointment, a shrinking account, and the nagging question, what did I do wrong? Today, we're going to rip the curtain off. No fluff, no sugarcoating. Just the raw truth about Forex trading psychology, the deadly mistakes that traders with less than 3.5 years of experience almost never avoid, and how to keep yourself from becoming the next victim. Listen up, the market doesn't care how smart you are, how many technical indicators you've studied, or how many hours you've spent glued to charts. If your psychology is weak, you will lose. It's that simple. Psychology is what determines whether you stick to your plan, whether you stay calm when the market flips, and most importantly, whether you survive in this game long term. New traders often think, if I just find the perfect strategy, I'll win. Wrong. Strategy is only 30%. The other 70%, psychology. It's your ability to control yourself when the market beckons, when your fingers itch to enter a trade, when the fear of missing out screams in your head. Let's face it, most traders with less than 3.5 years of experience fall into a dangerous psychological spiral. They trade too much. They're addicted to charts. They're terrified of missing out. And worst of all, they have no clear plan. Have you ever felt like if you don't have an open trade, you're lost? Like the market's running and you're being left behind? That's the trap. New traders often think the more they trade, the more chances they have to make money. They open a dozen trades across different currency pairs, eyes glued to charts, waiting for a golden opportunity they haven't even defined. Why? Impatience, the desire to get rich quick, the need to prove they can beat the market. But here's the harsh truth. The market doesn't need you. It keeps running, day after day, with or without you. Meanwhile, trading non-stop without a plan only pulls you into the market's trap. You enter trades recklessly, cut losses too early. Or worse, hold losing trades until your account burns. The consequences, you're exhausted. You lose money, and you start doubting yourself. Veteran traders know this. They understand. The market is always there. Only traders disappear if they can't control themselves. The Forex market is open, 24/7. There's always movement. There's always something to trade. And that's the biggest trap. You see a currency pair spike, and you think, if I don't jump in now, I'll miss out. You enter without analysis, without a plan. Just because you're scared, the opportunity will slip away. But here's the truth. FOMO isn't random. The market is designed to trigger that feeling, those dancing green and red candles on your chart. They're calling you. They make you believe there's always a perfect entry point. But in reality, most trades you jump into because of FOMO end in losses. Where does FOMO come from? From not believing there will be more opportunities. From thinking the market will run away if you don't act now. But seasoned traders know opportunities are always there. All you need is patience. All you need is a plan. Here's something few admit. You think you're trading to make money. Maybe at first, but after a few months, many traders start trading for the feeling of being in the market, the adrenaline rush when a trade moves, the thrill of victory when you take profit, even if it's just a few pips. What's the problem? You start confusing the goal of making money with the feeling of satisfaction. You trade not because there's a clear signal, but because you're addicted to the feeling of being in the game. The result? You destroy your discipline. You enter trades for no reason. You hold losing trades too long because you don't want to leave the game, and in the end, your account pays the price. This is the deadliest mistake. Have you ever entered a trade just because it felt right? No specific entry point. No stop loss. No take profit target. Just hope and luck. Trading without a plan is suicide in the market. You can't win if you don't know what you're doing. Successful traders don't rely on luck. They have a process, they have a strategy. They know when to enter, when to exit, and most importantly, when to stay out of the market. The saying "life changes when we stop pushing" applies perfectly to trading. Don't try to force the market to bend to your will. Don't trade just because you want to push your account to grow fast. Make a plan. Be disciplined. And wait. These issues over trading, FOMO, trading addiction, lack of a plan aren't random. They're psychological traps the market sets for you. And traders with less than 3.5 years of experience usually don't have the strength to recognize them, let alone overcome them. But don't despair. Understanding the problem is the first step. How to control your psychology, how to trade with discipline, and how to transform from an impulsive trader into someone who actually makes money from the market. Imagine this. You open your computer, the charts pop up, and the price lines dance like they're calling your name. You feel like you have to do something, you have to enter a trade, you have to participate. If not, you're like someone on the sidelines, watching the market run, while your heart burns with impatience. This isn't a random feeling. This is the psychological trap the market sets for the inexperienced. Why do you trade too much? Because you're impatient. You want to see your account grow fast. You think the more trades you make, the more chances you have to make money. But the truth? The more you trade, the more likely you are to lose. Every trade is a risk. Every trade without a plan is like throwing money out the window. New traders often keep multiple trades open at once across different currency pairs. They think this diversifies risk or increases their chances of winning. Dead wrong. When you have too many open trades, you can't focus. You can't monitor each pair carefully. The result? You get overwhelmed. You miss critical signals. And when the market turns, you can't react in time. Listen to this from a veteran trader. The market doesn't need you to trade constantly. It doesn't reward the busy. It only rewards the patient. Those who wait for clear signals. Veteran traders don't make 10 trades a day. They might wait a week, a month, just for one high-quality trade. And you? What are you trying to prove by opening a dozen trades every day? The consequences of overtrading aren't just financial losses. It exhausts you. You lose sleep, worrying about open trades. You lose confidence after constant losses, and worst of all, you start doubting whether you're cut out for this market. FOMO isn't just a buzzword. It's a psychological disease that most new traders catch. You see a currency pair skyrocket, and you jump in, because you think, if I don't get in now, I'll miss out. You see the market moving wildly, and you open a trade, because you're afraid the opportunity won't come back. But here's the brutal truth. FOMO is the fastest way to burn your account. Why is FOMO dangerous? Because it makes you act on emotion, not logic. The Forex market is open 24/7, 5 days a week. There's always movement, there's always something to trade. And that creates the illusion that you have to act immediately. Those dancing green and red candles on your chart, they're not opportunities. They're the market's invitation, an invitation to shoot yourself in the foot. Where does FOMO come from? From not believing there will be more opportunities, from thinking the market will run away if you don't trade now. But here's what veteran traders know. Opportunities never run out. The market is always there. No signal today. There'll be one tomorrow. No opportunity this week. There'll be one next week. But if you jump in because of FOMO, you'll pay with losing trades. Think of it this way. Every time you feel the itch to trade because you're afraid of missing out, the market is testing you. It's asking, are you disciplined? Or are you just a slave to your emotions? Successful traders pass this test. They're not afraid of missing out. They know one quality trade is better than 10 rushed ones. Here's a tough truth. Many traders start with the goal of making money, but after a few months, they trade for the feeling, the adrenaline when a trade moves, the thrill of victory when they take profit, even if it's just a few pips, the feeling of being in the game when they have an open trade. This is dangerous because you start confusing your goal with the feeling. You don't trade because of a clear signal. You trade because you're addicted to the feeling of being in the market. You open a new trade right after closing the last one, not for any reason other than wanting to keep playing. Ask yourself, are you trading to make money or to satisfy yourself? If the answer leans toward the latter, you're on the wrong path. Trading addiction destroys discipline. It makes you enter trades for no reason. It makes you hold losing trades too long because you don't want to leave the game. And in the end, it makes your account shrink. If there's one thing to burn into your brain, it's this. Without a plan, You will lose, no exceptions. New traders often enter trades without knowing their entry point, exit point, or stop loss. They rely on feelings. They hope the market will go their way, but hope is not a strategy. Trading without a plan is suicide. You can't win if you don't know what you're doing. A clear trading plan must include asterisk specific entry signals, asterisk a stop loss to protect your capital, asterisk a realistic take profit target, risk management rules. Without these, you're just gambling, and in gambling, the house always wins. Here, the house is the market. Successful traders don't rely on luck. They have a process. They know when to enter, when to exit, and most importantly, when to stay out. They don't try to push the market to their will. They wait. They're patient. And they only act when everything aligns with their plan. These issues over trading, FOMO, trading addiction, lack of a plan are psychological traps that new traders can't avoid unless they recognize them early. They're not random mistakes. They're the result of letting emotions take control, letting the market control you instead of you controlling yourself. If you've made it this far, you've seen the deadly psychological traps, overtrading, fear of missing out, chart addiction, and worst of all, lack of a plan. These don't just shrink your account, they make you doubt yourself. But here's the good news. You can change. Start at the root. Why do you trade? If your answer is anything other than to make money, you're on the wrong path. Many new traders fall into the emotional trap. They trade to feel in the game, to enjoy the adrenaline of a moving trade, to prove they're smarter than the market. Deadly mistake. Trading isn't a game. It's not a stage for you to show off. It's a job. And as a job, you have to focus on the goal, profit. Every trade you open must serve the purpose of making money, not satisfying a feeling. How do you shift this mindset? Simple, but not easy. Before every trade, ask yourself, will this trade help me make money? Or am I just itching to trade? If you can't answer clearly, don't trade. Veteran traders don't trade for feelings. They trade for goals. They know the market doesn't care about your emotions. It only cares about your wallet. One of the most effective ways to control your psychology is to choose the right trading time frame. New traders often glue their eyes to small time frames, 1-minute charts, 5-minute charts, thinking they'll catch more opportunities. Dead wrong. Small time frames are a psychological nightmare. Why? Because they're full of noise. Prices jump up and down constantly, making you panics, triggering FOMO, pushing you to trade impulsively. Plus, small time frames often have low liquidity, making them easy for sharks in the market to manipulate. You think you're catching an opportunity? No, you're being hunted. In contrast, larger time frames like daily or 4-hour charts are your allies. Why? Les noises, prices on larger time frames, reflect real trends, not random fluctuations. Higher liquidity, support and resistance levels on larger time frames are stronger and more reliable. Asterisk, lower psychological pressure. You don't need to stare at charts all day. Checking once a day is enough. Think about it. If you trade on a daily chart, you analyze once, place your trade, and go do something else. No worrying about dancing candles. No FOMO over a few pips of movement. The result? You're calmer, you're more focused, and you avoid impulsive decisions. The downside of small time frames, beyond noise and low liquidity, they make you addicted to charts. You check prices every 5 minutes, every hour, like a drug addict. In the end, you're exhausted. You lose sight of the bigger picture, and you lose advice. If you're a new trader, start with larger time frames, 4-hour or daily charts. They'll help you build patience, reduce psychological pressure, and most importantly, keep you out of the market's traps. FOMO is a trader's biggest enemy. It makes you jump into trades without analysis. It makes you destroy your plan because you think the opportunity won't come back. But here's the truth. Opportunities are always there. The market never runs out of opportunities. Only your account can run out of money if you don't control FOMO. How do you kill FOMO? Asterisk. Realize opportunities are endless. The Forex market never stops. No signal today. There'll be one tomorrow. No opportunity this week. There'll be one next week. Believe this. Asterisk. Focus on quality, not quantity. One quality trade, based on thorough analysis and a clear plan, is better than 10 rush trades. Asterisk, disconnect from charts. If you feel the itch to trade, turn off the screen. Go outside. Do something else. Don't let those green and red candles control you. Remember, every time you feel FOMO, the market is testing you. It's asking, do you have the discipline to stay out? Successful traders pass this test. They're not afraid of missing out. They know real opportunities only come when everything aligns with their plan. Without a plan, you're the market's prey. A clear trading plan is your shield against emotions, against FOMO, against impulsive decisions. But what is a plan, and how do you build one? A trading plan must include asterisk specific entry signals. For example, you only enter when the price breaks resistance with high trading volume, confirmed by the RSI. No signal, no trade. Stop loss. Always set a stop loss to protect your capital. Never trade without knowing how much you're willing to lose. Asterisk, take profit target. Know exactly how much you want to make from the trade. Don't get greedy. Risk management rules. Never let one trade risk more than 2% of your capital. This is the golden rule. How do you stick to the plan? Discipline. Write your plan down. Stick it in front of your screen and commit to yourself. No signal, no trade. No target, no take profit. No stop loss, no trading. Think of your plan as a map. The market is a deep jungle full of traps. Without a map, you'll get lost. But with a map, you know where you're going, and you'll reach your destination. Finally, one of the most critical skills for a trader is self-awareness. You have to understand your mind. When you look at charts, are you calm? Or are you FOMOing? Are you analyzing? Or is the market calling you? How do you develop self-awareness? Asterisk. Observe your emotions. Every time you want to trade, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask, what am I feeling? Is this trade based on analysis or emotion? Asterisk. Recognize the market's call. Those dancing candles, those wild swings, they're not opportunities. They're invitations to act impulsively. Learn to say no. Keep a trading journal. After every trade, write down why you entered, how you felt, and the result. This helps you spot recurring psychological mistakes. Self-awareness is the secret weapon of successful traders. It helps you control your emotions. It helps you stay out when the market beckons, and it helps you trade with logic, not feelings. You've come a long way. We've exposed the deadly psychological mistakes, laid the foundation with basic solutions. Shift your mindset, choose larger timeframes, kill FOMO, build a plan, and develop self-awareness. But to truly master trading psychology, you need more. Let's be blunt. If you don't manage risk, you will lose, sooner or later. Risk management isn't just about protecting your account, it's about protecting your psychology. When you know you can't lose too much, you'll be less afraid. You'll be less impulsive, and you'll trade with the confidence of a veteran. Risk management starts with an unbreakable rule. Never let one trade hurt your account by more than 2%. Why? Because the market is a long series of trades. You'll win, you'll lose, but if one losing trade costs you 10–20% of your capital, you'll fall into a dangerous psychological spiral. Fear, revenge trading, or worse, losing all confidence. How do you manage risk effectively? Asterisk. Calculate risk before entering, before opening a trade. Figure out, if this trade loses, how much will I lose? Is that amount within the safe zone under 2% of capital? If not, adjust your position size. Always set a stop loss. No exceptions. A stop loss is your safety net. It ensures one bad trade doesn't turn into a disaster. Asterisk. Don't increase risk after a loss. Many traders, after losing, try to make it back by increasing their position size. This is the fastest road to a blown account. Lows. Stop, analyze, and return to your plan. Asterisk. Allocate capital wisely. Don't put all your capital into one currency pair or one trade. Diversify risk, but not by opening a ton of random trades. Risk management isn't just math. It's a psychological tool. When you know you've controlled your risk, you'll worry less when the market turns. You'll be less itchy when prices dance. And most importantly, you'll stay calm. Something new traders often lack. It sounds counterintuitive, but one of the most important skills for a trader is knowing when not to trade. The market is always calling, those green and red candles, economic news, wild swings, they all make you want to jump in. But successful traders know not trading is a strategy. Why is patience critical? Because the market doesn't always offer quality opportunities. If you trade constantly, you'll fall into FOMO. You'll open low-quality trades, and you'll lose. In contrast, if you wait for a clear signal, wait for the right moment, you'll increase your chances of winning. How do you train patience? Define clear trading signals. In your plan, list exactly what conditions must be met to enter a trade. For example, price must break resistance with a surge in volume and RSI above 70. Not enough conditions. Stay out. Asterisk limit chart time. If you stare at charts all day, you'll be tempted. Set a schedule. Check charts once or twice a day, depending on your time frame. Asterisk. Find something else to do. When you're not trading, do something productive. Read, exercise, or learn more about the market. Don't let charts become your life. Asterisk. Embrace. Standing aside, learn to feel comfortable with no open trades. That's the sign of a mature trader. Patience isn't innate, it's a skill. And like any skill, it takes practice. Every time you resist the urge to enter an unclear trade, you're forging a steel mindset. Every time you wait for a quality signal, you're closer to success. A trading plan is your map, but a map is only useful if you follow it. Discipline ensures you don't stray. New traders often fail, not because they lack a plan, but because they don't stick to it. They let emotions creep in. They change the plan mid-trade. They ignore stop losses because they hope the market will turn. What is discipline? It's doing the right thing, even when you don't want to. It's entering a trade when the signal matches your plan, not sooner, not later. It's cutting losses when the market goes against you. No hesitation. It's taking profit when you hit your target. No greed. How do you build discipline? Write your plan down. A plan in your head isn't a plan. Write it out, step by step. Stick it in front of your screen. Read it every day. Asterisk. Commit to yourself. Before each trading session, tell yourself, "I won't break my plan." No matter what the market does, keep a trading journal. After each trade, write down, did you follow the plan? If not, why? This helps you spot moments of indiscipline and fix them. Asterisk. Punish and reward. If you break your plan, punish yourself. For example, take a day off trading. If you stick to it, reward yourself. A nice meal. A break. Discipline isn't easy. It requires fighting yourself, fighting FOMO, fighting impatience, fighting false hope. But here's the truth. Without discipline, you can't win. Veteran traders aren't the smartest, they're the most disciplined. The market is a psychological machine. It's designed to exploit your weaknesses. Wild swings, long candles, hot economic news, they're all invitations. They make you think, I have to act now, but successful traders know. Not every movement is an opportunity. How do you say no to the market? Asterisk. Recognize the invitation. Every time you feel the itch to trade, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask, is this a real signal? Or is the market just calling me? Asterisk. Trust your plan. If the movement doesn't match your plan, it's not an opportunity. It's a trap. Asterisk. Turn off the charts. If you can't resist, shut the screen. Go outside. Let the market run. It'll still be there when you return. Learning to say no is a superpower. It saves you from losing trades. It protects your capital. And most importantly, it builds confidence. Confidence that you, not the market, are in control. Traders with less than 3.5 years of experience and veteran traders differ not just in skill, they differ in psychology. New traders are slaves to emotion. They trade because of FOMO, adrenaline, or the need to prove themselves. They glue their eyes to charts, open a ton of trades, and hope luck will save them. The result? Shrinking accounts, shattered confidence, and the feeling that the market is against them. Veteran traders are different. They don't trade for feelings, they trade for goals. They're not afraid of missing out, because they know opportunities are always there. They don't trade constantly, because they understand a few quality trades are better than many reckless ones. And most importantly, they have a steel mindset. Calm when the market flips, disciplined in executing their plan, and patient when there's no signal. The biggest difference? Veteran traders have learned to control themselves. They don't let the market control them. They don't let emotions lead. They trade like a machine that waits, analyzes, and says no when needed. No one is born a successful trader. Even the most seasoned veterans were once newbies. They FOMO'd, blew accounts, doubted themselves. What sets them apart is they didn't give up, they learned from mistakes, they adjusted their psychology, and they built habits to overcome the market's traps. This transformation happens in 3 stages. Asterisk awareness stage. This is when you realize you're making mistakes. You see you're overtrading. FOMO is controlling you, and lack of a plan is killing your account. Awareness is the first step, and you've already passed it if you're reading this. Asterisk change stage. This is the hardest. You have to change habits. You have to let go of the adrenaline of constant trading. You have to learn to stay out of the market. You have to build discipline to stick to your plan. Even when emotions scream to do otherwise, this stage takes time. But every small step brings you closer to success. Asterisk consolidation stage. Once you've built good habits, patience, discipline, risk management, you start seeing results. Your account stabilizes. You don't panic when the market turns. You don't FOMO when prices dance. This is when you become a real trader. This process doesn't happen overnight. It requires facing yourself, your weaknesses, your temptations, your failures. But here's the truth. Every successful trader has walked this path, and you can too. The Forex market never stands still. It changes every day. Economic news, central bank policies, market sentiment, they all affect prices. Successful traders never stop learning. They don't just learn about technical analysis or strategies, they learn about themselves. They learn to recognize emotions. They learn to adjust their psychology when the market shifts. How do you keep learning? Keep a trading journal. This is the most powerful tool. After every trade, write down. Why did you enter? How did you feel? What was the result? Over time, you'll see recurring mistakes, and you'll know how to avoid them. Asterisk. Read and study, not fluffy online articles. Find books by veteran traders, materials on trading psychology, analyses of market behavior. Asterisk. Observe the market. You don't need to trade, just watch. See how prices move, how support resistance levels work. This helps you understand the market without risking capital. Asterisk. Learn from failure. Every losing trade is a lesson. Don't run from it. Analyze it. Ask, what did I do wrong? How do I avoid it next time? Learning isn't just about gaining knowledge. It's about refining your psychology. Every time you learn something new, you become more confident, you're less afraid. And you trade with the clarity of someone who knows what they're doing. A strong mindset doesn't mean having no emotions. It's the ability to control emotions, to act based on logic, not fear or greed. Successful traders aren't immune to FOMO. They feel the itch too. They want to jump in when prices dance, but they know to pause. They know to breathe, check their plan, and only act when everything aligns. How do you build a strong mindset? Practice self-awareness. Always watch your mind. When you want to trade, pause. Ask, am I being driven by emotion? Or is this a logical decision? Asterisk. Build good habits. Patience, discipline, risk management, these don't come naturally. Practice them daily until they're instinct. Accept failure. The market won't always go your way. There will be losing trades. There will be bad days. Successful traders don't let failure define them. They get up, analyze, and keep going. Balance your life. Trading isn't your whole life. If you let the market consume your time and mind, you'll burn out. Spend time with family, friends, hobbies. A balanced mind is a strong mind. A strong mindset is what keeps you in the market. Skills can be learned, strategies can be adjusted, but if your psychology is weak, you'll crumble when the market tests you. Forge a steel mindset, and you won't just survive, you'll thrive. The trading journey is a journey of self-control. Mistakes like FOMO, trading addiction, and lack of a plan, they're not your fate. You can overcome them by shifting your mindset, building discipline, and learning constantly. The market isn't your enemy. Your real enemy is your emotions, your impatience, your impulsiveness. The saying life changes when we stop pushing has never been truer. Don't try to force the market to your will. Don't trade constantly to prove yourself. Be disciplined. Focus on your original goal, making money, not chasing feeling. You have all the tools to change. Now it's time to act. Don't let this document be just a fleeting lesson. Start today, write your trading plan. Practice patience, keep a journal. And if you want to keep learning no nonsense, unfiltered insights, subscribe to the channel now. We're here to help you become a real trader, not someone chasing pipe dreams. Hit the subscribe button, and together, we'll conquer the market.